The fascinating tale of the 1970 United States. Dime, a coin's journey through history. Hello, friends. Welcome to Vault of Old Coins. Here, we bring you the oldest, the rarest, and the most mysterious coins from around the world. Do you want to know which coin is worth millions? Which coin is hiding one of history's biggest secrets? And which coin looks ordinary today, but could make you rich tomorrow? So hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, and let's open the Vault of Old Coins. Imagine holding a tiny piece of American history in your palm. A shimmering 10-cent coin from 1970, known as the Roosevelt dime. This unassuming dime isn't just pocket change, it's a portal to the past, carrying stories of presidents, artists, economic shifts, and even a touch of mystery. Minted during a turbulent era of the Vietnam War, civil rights movements, and the moon landing's afterglow, the 1970 dime reflects America's resilience and change. Let's dive into its captivating history. Our story begins in the shadow of World War II. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, led the nation through the Great Depression and the war's darkest days. FDR, as he was affectionately known, was stricken with polio in his youth, a disease that left him paralyzed but never defeated his spirit. In 1938, he founded the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis, later called the March of Dimes, to fund research and care for polio victims. The dime in March of Dimes wasn't coincidental. Americans were encouraged to donate dimes to the cause, symbolizing small contributions adding up to big change. When FDR died suddenly on April 12, 1945, just months before the war's end, the nation mourned a hero. To honor his legacy, Congress swiftly passed legislation to place his portrait on the dime, replacing the winged Liberty, Mercury design that had been in use since 1916. The dime was chosen specifically because of FDR's connection to the March of Dimes. It was a fitting tribute. Enter John Ray Cynic, the chief engraver of the United States Mint from 1925 to 1947. Cynic was a skilled artist tasked with capturing FDR's essence in miniature. But here's where the plot thickens. There's a long-standing controversy suggesting Cynic may have drawn inspiration, or more, from African-American sculptor Selma Burke. In 1943, Burke won a commission to create a bas-relief plaque of FDR for the Recorder of Deeds building in Washington, D.C. She had live sittings with the president, sketching him meticulously to capture his strong jawline, thoughtful gaze, and determined expression. Burke's plaque, unveiled in 1945, bears a striking resemblance to the dime's obverse, front side. Some historians, including FDR's own son, argue that Cynic borrowed heavily from Burke's work without credit. Cynic denied this, claiming he used photographs and his own earlier metal designs of FDR from 1936. The U.S. Mint stands by Cynic, whose initials JS appear subtly on the coin's neck truncation. Yet institutions like the Smithsonian credit Burke as an influence, highlighting issues of recognition for black artists in mid-20th century America. This debate adds a layer of intrigue to every 1970 dime you might find. Let's examine the front side, the obverse. It features FDR's profile facing left, a direction chosen to align with numismatic tradition. Most U.S. coins face left or right alternately. Above his head arcs Liberty, symbolizing the freedom he fought to preserve. To the lower left is "In God We Trust," the national motto added to coins in the 1950s amid Cold War anti-communism fervor. The year 1970 sits below his chin, and if minted in Denver or San Francisco, a small D or S mint mark appears near the date. This side isn't just a portrait, it's a narrative of leadership. FDR's image evokes his fireside chats, the New Deal, and Pearl Harbor, moments that shaped modern America. The design was finalized in late 1945, with the first Roosevelt dimes rolling out on January 30, 1946, FDR's birthday. For the 1970 version, it remained unchanged, a testament to enduring respect. Turning to the back side, the reverse, the story continues with symbols of unity and strength. At the center stands a flaming torch, representing liberty and enlightenment, much like the Statue of Liberty's beacon. Flanking it are an olive branch on the left for peace and an oak branch on the right for strength and independence. These elements hark back to ancient Roman symbolism, adapted for American ideals. Above curves, United States of America, and below, 1 dime. Across the middle runs E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one, emphasizing national unity. Cynic designed this reverse as well, drawing from classical motifs to evoke stability in post-war America. Why these symbols? They were chosen to reflect the nation's recovery from war, promoting peace while asserting strength. A subtle nod to the emerging Cold War era. The 1970 dime was minted specifically in 1970 amid economic pressures. By then, the U.S. had shifted from silver coins due to the Coinage Act of 1965. Pre-1965 dimes were 90% silver, but rising silver prices led to hoarding, so the mint switched to a clad composition. Outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel over a pure copper core. This made the 1970 dime cheaper to produce and less prone to melting for metal value. Mintage was massive, 345,570,000 in Philadelphia, no mint mark, over 500 million in Denver, and about 2.6 million proofs in San Francisco. It was created to meet everyday commerce needs, but also as part of the ongoing tribute to FDR. Beyond honoring FDR, the dime served practical purposes. In 1970, under President Nixon and Mint Director Mary T. Brooks, the first woman in that role, production ramped up to combat coin shortages. The design's continuity symbolized stability in changing times. In the international coin market today, as of early 2026, most 1970 Roosevelt dimes are worth, well, about 10 cents. That's their face value, and for the vast majority, those circulated examples from Philadelphia, no mint mark, approximately 355 million minted, or Denver, D mint mark, over 520 million minted, that's exactly what they're worth in everyday condition. These clad coins, copper-nickel, aren't made of precious metal anymore, so they don't melt for value like the old silver dimes did. You might find one in change, spend it, or keep it as a memento of FDR's legacy. But here's where the plot gets exciting. Rarity, condition, and errors turn ordinary dimes into collector gems. For standard circulation strikes, business strikes, circulated, worn from use, $10 to $50. Uncirculated, mint state, never circulated. Starts around $50 to $200 for basic examples. High-grade certified, for example MS65 or better by NGC/PCGS. Often $100 to $1,000 with exceptional full bands, sharp torch details, examples pushing higher. Some MS66 Plus pieces have sold for hundreds in auctions, though none certified above MS66 yet for full torch variants. Proof versions, from San Francisco S Mint, made for collectors with mirror-like shine. Regular 1970S. Proof, typically $20 to $200 in average condition, up to $500 to $2,000 for perfect PR70 examples. But the real jackpot? The legendary 1970 NoS proof dime, one of the most famous modern U.S. mint errors. In 1970, a tiny number of proof dies accidentally lacked the S mint mark, punch error during die preparation. These rare proofs look like regular Philadelphia coins but have proof quality, frosted devices, mirrored fields. Only a handful are known, making them ultra-scarce. Values soar in PR65 to PR67, $500 to $50,000. Higher grades, PR68 to PR69, up to $500,000 or more in recent sales. Top examples have fetched thousands at auction. Other errors add drama: off-center strikes, double dies, struck through anomalies, or dramatic mule errors, wrong die combinations. These can range from $5 to $6 million for minor ones to thousands for dramatic, certified pieces. One dramatic off-center or clamshell error might hit $8 million plus, depending on visibility and demand. The coin's massive mintage makes common ones worthless beyond face value, but errors and perfection create scarcity. Collectors hunt them in old proof sets, rolls, or pocket change. Imagine finding a 1970 NoS in Grandma's jar. Internationally, prices are quoted in USD on platforms like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or Great Collections, with premiums in Europe/USA for certified slabs. Unlike ultra-rare 1913 nickels, but a pristine error dime can feel like winning a mini lottery, turning 10 cents into hundreds or thousands. The 1970 dime's story isn't just metal and dates. It's FDR's fight against polio, a designer's quiet controversy, symbols of peace and strength, and the thrill of discovery. Next time you see one, flip it over, torch blazing, branches strong. And remember, history's small treasures can hold big surprises.